Hello, everyone. It's Coach Allison back, and we are in week 42 for Defy Aging. This week, what we're going to do for our routine is a little bit different. We're going to be doing a kind of a count or a track your own reps kind of routine. I know everyone loves those, but we do have to change it up every once in a while, right? So, what this is, it's going to be a 24-minute routine, and there are six exercises, and it's sort of an increment each. A lot of times we do what's called like a ladder routine or a drop or an increase routine where every round we increase or drop the reps. This is a little bit different in that each exercise has a designated amount of reps. We've done something similar to this in the past as well. But so what I mean by that is exercise one, we'll demonstrate the movements in a minute here. Exercise one has 5 reps, and then exercise 2 has 10 reps. Exercise 3 has 12 reps. Exercise 4 has 15 reps. Exercise 5 has 20 reps. And exercise 6 has 25 reps. And the exercise for each thing is like something that's appropriate for that rep count. So it's nothing, for example, the 25 rep count exercise is not like push-ups or anything insane like that. But anyways, so the reps will be designated on your template on the board, and I'm sure your coaches will maybe write it up on some other whiteboards if you have a larger space, so we can place those around the turf. So if you're farther back on the turf, you don't have to be squinting to look up at the smaller board up at the front. Anyways, that's kind of how this will go. 24 minutes. So you just repeat the 6 exercises, as many sets as you can in the 24 minutes. It's not a race, so there's not a goal to get through as many, I want to get through 5 rounds or anything like that. So just go at your own safe pace, take breaks when you need them, grab water when you need it, see how many rounds you get through in the 24 minutes. And let's review what our 6 exercises are. Okay, everyone, exercise 1, and remember, we're working in our own space for this. We're not rotating around or anything. Exercise 1 is 5 reps only, and it's going to be push-ups. Okay, so yes, I know it's push-ups. I know they're very hard, but hey, it's only 5 reps, so give and take, right? We can do toes, we can do knees, we can do incline. Right? So I'll quickly show you all of those options, even though I'm sure you've been with us long enough, most of you. I mean, hopefully we have some new people, right? Some new faces after our Defy Aging 28-day challenge. And anyway, hello if you're new. But anyways, so toes obviously looks like this. It's very important if you're doing a toe push-up and a knee push-up that we're not keeping the hips still, but just dropping the face. We see that a lot. You see how my hips didn't move, but I just dipped my face down. So don't kind of kid yourself and think you're doing a push-up if we're doing this. So hips go towards the floor as well. That's obviously very advanced. So take it to the knees. That is just as good. As far as effectiveness, it's a great place to start. Same thing though. Make sure your hips are lowering too, and we're not just dipping the face down. So your hips and your butt should lower to the floor as well to do a proper push-up. Okay. Also, keep your head and your neck still. We see a lot of like this, and I think people think because their head's moving, so their face is getting closer to the floor, that they're doing a push-up. Because you think you feel like you're getting close to the floor because you're like, hey, my eyesight's getting closer to the floor. So that's just dipping your head up and down. So your neck should stay still when you're doing a push-up. Okay, so I'm not just doing this. Just wanted to point that out. You can always take your push-up up to an incline, to a bench. That's kind of a good, if you've been at knee push-ups and you're wanting to progress, but you try a toe push-up, but it's just not happening yet, that's a great place. That's a great middle ground to go from knees up to toes. So anyways, 5 push-ups is number 1. Exercise 2, and this is for 10 reps. We call them thrusters in this programming. They're also called a squat, press. You can call them all sorts of things. Anyways, we've done them hundreds of times. Weight in each hand, palms are turned inward like this towards each other, so not forward. Okay, you do a squat first, and then as you're coming up, make sure the movement is all nice and smooth, so you don't take a pause first at the top, and you do that press that I just did. So squat, all nice and smooth, up with a press. Then you can pause at the bottom, bringing it back down before you start your next rep. Squat and up. Pause if you need to. Squat and up. Make sure the squat is a real squat. It's not just like, you're not. So get those hips back, get them as low as you can before you go up into, before you go up into your press. Also, try to make sure the weights stay parallel to the floor. Try to avoid them coming down here like this and letting them fall. That's common to see. So keep them up here like that. That way we know we're really getting a good amount of shoulder activation, shoulder work, a little extra core strength as well. So that is for 10 reps. Okay, exercise 3, now we're bumping it up to 12 reps each. Now this is each side, 12 each side, because we're gonna do a 2-point row back exercise. A lot of these, most of these we've done before. Now this one you'll want a heavier weight, so you'll need a little bit of variety of weights around. This is a back exercise. Back is a very strong, it's way, 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 way stronger than your shoulders. So whatever weight you just had for your thruster, you should be able to go significantly heavier for this next exercise. So you're gonna stagger your stance. You're sort of balancing or stabilizing is the better word, yourself on your front thigh here. Side with the weight. That's the leg that's stepped back. And we pull up and back, kind of angling slightly back towards that hip bone. So we're not just going straight up like this. That's not activating the right muscles and it causes me to shrug. Instead, I'm just going slightly back. Get a little bit of a twist, very subtle, but a little bit of a twist. See how I kind of had that little bit of a rotation here? As I pull up, that helps you to kind of activate this muscle area a little bit better, which is what we want. If you just do this, you're kind of not getting that full muscle activation, but if you get that little twist, you're getting that final extra contraction in that back muscle like we want. That is 12 each side. All right, rep count is going up still. Now we're at 15 reps. Now we need a kettlebell. Kettlebell deadlift, an oldie but a goodie. I feel like I've been doing dumbbell deadlifts with you more recently, so the kettlebell is kind of going back to something I don't know. I know we had kettlebell deadlifts, sumo squats last week, but anyways, now I'm just confusing everybody. So one kettlebell, feet are hip width apart. Remember, deadlifts are a hinge like this, not a squat, so not a knee bend. Very soft bend in your knees. Other than that, the movement should be all at this hip crease here, this hip joint where your leg meets your hip. Very flat back. See how flat my back is? So there shouldn't be any hunched or rounding in the back. And you want to make sure your shoulders aren't coming forward like this. So see my shoulders now? Watch, I'm going to go back and down with those shoulders and make sure they stay there at all times. It's very important you're shifting your hips back, so my hips are starting about here. Watch them end about here as I do or even farther back, because I'm shifting them back. Your body weight should be in your heels, so it should feel like you're almost tipping slightly into your heels. You should be able to dance your toes like this. I mean, you don't have to do that. I'm just saying you should be able to, because your body weight is in your heels. All sorts of little reminders with deadlifts. Biggest thing really is those shoulders down and back. So make sure you're keeping those shoulder blades locked down and don't let them roll forward. So that is for 15. You can go pretty heavy on deadlifts because deadlifts work your entire posterior chain. They work all of this stuff connected together, all of your big, strong muscles as well, back, glutes, hamstrings. So yeah, you can go pretty heavy. Grab a nice hefty kettlebell for that one, and let's give our deadlifts a go for 15 reps. Our next one, number 5, we're going down for some core work. We're going to do plank toe taps. Now this one is for 20. Now this is a total count, not each side. Total count. So I'll show you. We're in a normal plank, normal just meaning on your elbows versus your hands. So it's a low plank. Hips are level, so make sure our butts aren't way up here like this. And we tap those toes out to the side, counting 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So that's how we're going to count that. Unfortunately, there isn't really a knee option for this. And typically, you can do a knee plank just fine, but that doesn't work. I've tried it. It is just the movement you get is you can only bring your knee out so far before it sacrifices the form, and it gets really weird and awkward and uncomfortable and kind of just doesn't work. So anyone that would typically do a knee plank, instead we're going to take you up to an incline and do an incline version of this, and that'll be your option here. So you'll go up to a bench or a box, do your incline plank. Again, make sure your hips are level so we're not doing one of these. And then of course the toe tap is exactly the same. Just keep those hips level though. Make sure it doesn't start to creep up like this. Okay. We don't want those hips up. So anyway, so floor or incline, but either way, you're doing 20 total. All right, and then our sixth exercise is our biggie, because it's our 25 rep count. Jumping jacks, we're going to keep it, I'm not going to say keep it easy, but I mean, you know, everyone knows what a jumping jack is, so we're keeping it a standard exercise. 25 jumping jacks. Make sure you're doing big full arms and big full leg jumps, and you can always take it to a step jack if we are avoiding impact for any back or knee or ankle restriction or limitation. Totally fine, because a step jack gets all the same body movements going, so we're still getting the arms, we're still getting the big hip gait, so we're still getting all of that. And if you take it to a good speed like this, we're still going to get that same cardio effect. So step jacks work just fine. Either way, no matter whatever option you're doing, 25 is the total count. Just want to point out, and I know our coaches are probably so sick of hearing me say this, if you're doing that other option, I do want you to take the full step. See how I'm taking my full step, my full body from here now to here, versus the stationary toe tap. Almost just as good, but you do get much more movement with that full step jack. Therefore, you get you get a little more out of it. You're also going to get more cardiovascular benefit from it. So take that full step if you're doing the step jack option. Try to avoid just the toe tap option. So jumping jacks for 25. All right, our team builder. We had this exercise sort of in last week, I believe. So now we're going to turn into the team builder. We're going to do a wall sit challenge, okay? Kind of like our plank off when we do a plank challenge. We're going to do a wall sit and see who can hold it the longest. So let's see who can, maybe we'll be here, we might go over time. I don't know. Let's see if we'll be here till the next session starts coming in. So we know wall sits. We had them last week and we've had them before, but lean into the wall first. That's my recommendation. Feet way out and then start to slide down. You don't want to fall into the wall and start it that way. So to slide on down, just want to make sure that your feet are far enough out that your ankles don't protrude over your knees don't protrude over the ankles like this. We don't want to hold it like that. That puts too much strain on the knee. So feet out. You can always adjust as you go. Try to get as low as thighs parallel to the floor if you can. That is very challenging. So if you're not quite there yet and you need to scoot it up a little, that's fine. You have a place to work towards over the weeks and months that you're getting stronger. But no hands on the thighs like this, kind of bracing yourself. Definitely no leaning forward on the thighs. That's definitely just all out cheating. So hands off the legs. You can do whatever you want to try to take your mind off it. Just no bracing like this. And we're just going to see who can hold that the longest. When you're done, just fall to the floor or push yourself up and just say, I'm done. And let's see how it goes with our wall sit challenge. Okay, week 42. Hope everyone likes this routine. I know it's a little different with the counting reps, but again, it's good to switch it up every once in a while and get away from those intervals. So see you back with week 43. And I know we are getting down towards the end of the year, if you can't believe it, but hope everyone is enjoying this gorgeous weather. And yeah, have a great week.